You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Stefon Diggs, the all-world wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Now, in case you do not remember, several years ago when Stefon Diggs was ready to get out of Minnesota and end up in Buffalo with Josh Allen, he started to fire off certain shots across social media. Now, we've seen some issues between him and Josh Allen on the sideline, and this offseason, I've been sitting back watching the Buffalo Bills as player after player after player is jettisoned out the door. Now, the Buffalo Bills do not have a great salary cap situation at all, but nonetheless, Stefon Diggs is an all-world wide receiver, no doubt about it. And he put up massive numbers this past season, as you can look and see right here. 107 catches, 1,183 yards, 8 touchdowns. However, there are some things that would lead you to believe maybe there's a fall off. Number one, he's 30 years old. Number two, this is PFF's 2023 NFL wide receiver ranks, and you got to scroll down here till you get to 21 to find Stefon Diggs. Now, that doesn't mean he's a bad player. I mean, obviously, Devontae Adams is down here, Amari Cooper. I mean, there's a lot of players down in here in this range, but nonetheless, this is going to be one of the analytical tools that the NFL personnel people will use to evaluate their players, right? That and eye test and how is he in the locker room? Well, I mean, here we go, because he's starting to come out on social media and he is sending some smoke signals that he is either going, ready to go, wanting to go. It just doesn't look like a wide receiver that's happy and wanting to stay in town. And some betting odds are starting to come out as well for future destinations, which is not a great sign. That's not a great sign. 4 years ago today, this is Florio. 4 years ago today, the Bills traded for Vikings receiver Stefon Diggs. 4 days from now, will he still be on the team? Diggs, who has history of social media activity that is sufficiently vague to give him plausible deniability, posted this on X. Ready for whatever. You might be like, really? Yep, there it is right there. You see it. And it got plenty of views. 5.1 million. This one tweet went viral. And you might be like, well, maybe he's ready to come back to the Bills. Yeah, maybe. But he also changed his header on his X page with a picture of him turning around and waving goodbye. That's where business really starts to pick up. And that's where, if you're a Bills fan, you're getting a little concerned if you've got a mind to keep this all-world wide receiver. Now, I understand, I'll be the first to tell you, this draft is absurdly deep with wide receivers. But we all know it can take a year or two to catch on in the world of the NFL as a wide receiver, unless your name is Puka Nacua, who just happened to hit the ground running like in a way we've almost not seen as a rookie before. And some of the odds, in a way, doesn't make sense to me, because I cannot imagine a world where would the Buffalo Bills trade Stefon Diggs to the Kansas City Chiefs? They're arguably their biggest rival. I find this shocking. Stefon Diggs is getting cryptic on social media again, leaving NFL fans wondering if the star wide receiver could be headed out of Buffalo. Diggs, who may or may not tweeted his way from the Vikings 4 years ago, has been in trade rumors throughout this offseason. He was in trade rumors last year. Buffalo restructures its roster amid cap troubles. If Diggs' internet musings are really a prophecy, he could be on the move again. The mysterious post doesn't bode well for his future in Buffalo, but the Bills remain a heavy favorite to retain the Pro Bowler. That's a good sign. The Bills remain a minus 350 favorite to be Diggs' home come week 1. So if you're pulling for him to stay, that's a good sign. But there are bidders lining up on these odds. 10-1 Chiefs, 10-1 Texans. Cowboys are in this. They don't have any money. The Patriots, really? They could have given up a fourth for Keenan Allen. They said they didn't even ask about Keenan Allen. The Patriots called about Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Okay, the offense is trash in New England, but that's for another day. The Bears, 12-1. I cannot imagine that remains the same after the trade involving Keenan Allen. Ravens, 12-1. Panthers make sense, 18-1. And the Giants, 30-1. They make sense. The Patriots, Panthers, Giants all have the biggest deficiencies in overall talent at the wide receiver position. The Chiefs, I'm sure the Chiefs would love him. I'm sure they would. I cannot imagine them being okay with trading him to the biggest rival and the team that they believe they got to get past to win a Super Bowl. The relationship between Diggs and Bills has been strained at times. It came to a brawl last June when he was asked to leave the building on the first day of mandatory minicamp, and when the team initially created the impression he walked out without permission. Things got back under control and stayed there for the 2023 season, but Diggs got the ball less and less as the year went on. That's right. His touches started drying up a little bit. His most recent 100-yard game happened back on October 15th. He had 10 catches for 73 yards in 2 playoff games. It's reaching a point where it arguably doesn't make sense for the Bills to continue the relationship. It also could be reaching a point in which Diggs wants to move on. When he decided to leave Minnesota, coincidentally or not, on the same day Kirk Cousins got an extension, Diggs took to Twitter and managed to provoke a trade. Could he do it now again? Right now, probably not. After June 1, possibly. This is where it gets a little more interesting. His $18.5 million salary cap for 2024 becomes fully guaranteed this weekend. He has a 2024 cap number of $27.854 million. Trading him before June 1st triggers a cap charge of $31.096. Yikes. The Bills could cut him before the salary becomes guaranteed. If they do it with a post-June designation, the Bills would take a cap charge of $8.849 million this year and $22.247 million in 2025. But obviously, they get nothing for him. That's always the dilemma. Do you keep him? Do you ride it out? Do you trade him while you can still get something? I mean, most people believe you could probably get a first for him, but he's 30. I mean, I don't know if you could or not. At the very least, you're probably getting a second and maybe a late rounder. I don't know. But I saw Buffalo fans, somebody saying 2 firsts and a fourth for a 30-year-old receiver. I don't know about that. The dilemma, not only that, but throw in what is perceived attitude issues. Let's just keep it real. A perceived inclination to burn down the house on the way out. All right? Teams wanting to do that? I don't know. There's been a history of it. I mean, Terrell Owens used to do it every so often, and he still always latched on. The dilemma is clear. Do they allow his salary to become fully guaranteed now and trade him later? Do they trade him now? Who would take on his salary and give up the compensation? And the other thing, when you start looking at the career, it's ridiculous. I mean, it is. There's no doubt about it. 102 catches, 1,021 yards, 9 TDs. 127 catches, 1,535, 8 TDs. 103, 1225, and 10. 108, 1429, and 11. 107, 1183, and 8. All in 810, 5 yards shy of 10,000, and 67 touchdowns. The guy is ridiculous. He's a one-time All-Pro, four-time All. He's a four-time All-Pro, four-time Pro Bowler, one-time All-Pro. But my God, it's already been a day. But you get the point. He's a hell of a good receiver, but he's getting older. So That's going to bear out watching. Look, social media has exploded over this. Oddly, a lot of Vikings fans calling for Stefon Diggs to come back. A lot of them. I'm like, what's going on here? I mean, you've got no real quarterback at all, and you don't really have a deficiency. I mean, lock up Justin Jefferson. He's 24 years old. You know, I don't even think that's a question now. But, you know, Cowboys, Chiefs, Texans, that's the kind of thing that's burning loudly. Ravens on social media, I just cannot imagine the Chiefs and the Ravens. If they decide to move on and trade him, are you going to trade him to one of the two teams you blatantly got to get past if you want to be Super Bowl bound? I don't think you can do that. Are you even potentially Super Bowl bound if you trade him, or is that put a wrap on the books unless you've got something cooked up right behind him? And what is that going to be? A draft pick? I don't like that. I don't know. This is wild. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.